I saw this Gingerbread Birdhouse in a Woman's World baking magazine and I had to give it a try.
Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone. Now what intrigued me about this recipe in the magazine was that it used refrigerated sugar cookie dough that you get at the grocery store. That is a 1 pound, 16 ounce package. If you don't want to use this or you can't find it locally, just use regular gingerbread. And I will put a link in the description box to a recipe that I've used before that always works. But if you're using the sugar cookie dough, put the package in the mixing bowl and you're going to add some things to it. 2/3 cup all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. If you can't find that locally, make your own. There are recipes on the interwebs. And then finally, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of molasses. And these things are going to give this sugar cookie dough a gingerbread flavor. And then you're going to blend that together. And at this point, I realized that my favorite camera was broken and the image stabilization is gone. So I had to switch cameras. There's a different camera. And as you can see, there's also a big old thumbprint of cookie dough right on the KitchenAid symbol there. So I had to clean that off too. So basically, you're going to stir up your dough. You can do this by hand if your mixer can't handle the thickness of the dough. And then bring it into a ball shape and you're going to roll it out in between sheets of waxed paper or parchment paper. Roll it out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. You'll get a very large rectangle or so of dough, and then you're going to cut out your pieces. Now the template pieces will be on my website and I'll put a link in the description box where you can go there and save the images and just print them out at home onto paper, and then you can cut them out onto cardboard so it's a bit sturdier. So this is a roof piece. I'm going to cut 2 of those. I'm just using a sharp knife just to go around to cut through the dough, and then you just gently peel off the cardboard and then move it to another position and cut another piece. And you're going to do that with the roof pieces, the side pieces, the front and back piece, as well as the little birds. These have little cardinals that go with the birdhouse, and you can cut out as many as you like. And I cut out some that were facing in kind of different directions. I just flipped the cardboard around. Now for the front piece that's going to have the entrance to the birdhouse, you're going to measure about 2.5 inches down. I made a little mark, and then you need to cut out a hole. You can use a small cookie cutter. You need something that makes a hole that's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter. That's a preference thing. This is 1.5 inches, and it is the cap off of one of my frosting tubes, which worked out perfectly. And for the perch, you need to make a little hole. I just used candy cane, made a little hole, and then I removed that dough. Now this dough is going to be super, super soft, and it's going to be almost impossible to get it off the wax paper to put it on a cookie sheet to bake it. So I put a cookie sheet right under the whole thing, and I put mine in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Put it somewhere cold and that dough will firm up quite nicely, and you'll see it'll be a lot easier to handle afterwards. So once the dough was chilled, the pieces came off very nicely and they're very easy to handle. I positioned them on a cookie sheet. Make sure you leave about 1 inch, 1.5 inches in between the pieces because they will puff up a little bit. And you should have enough room on a standard size large cookie sheet for all your pieces. Bake these at 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes until they're kind of dry looking and they are brown around the edges. Then as soon as it comes out of the oven and they're super hot, put the cardboard piece, template piece back on and cut off the excess because of course they will have spread when they're baking. Don't do this when the cookies are cold or they will crack into a bunch of pieces. Do them while they're still hot, just out of the oven. And the same thing goes with the hole. For the perch, I use a jumbo straw to cut that hole out. And then I did all the other pieces. I didn't bother with the birds. I didn't cut those out. Again, I just left them the way they were. And then I took the birds off the cookie sheet, let them cool separately, and I put this back in the oven at 350 degrees for about another 3 or 4 minutes until they were a nice golden brown all over. You want these to be nice and dry so that they're crispy and they have a little bit more strength when you're going to put this together. Now, the glue that's going to put all this together is Royale frosting. I use this royal icing mix I get from the bulk barn. It's awesome because all you do is add water to it and blend it and it's done. There will be a recipe in the description box if you want to make your own. So go ahead and check that out. And all I did was add enough water to get the right texture. You want it to be firm enough to pipe, but not so firm that you can't work with it. Put about a half cup in a small bowl. I added a big glob of red food coloring because I wanted this to be brilliant red for my little cardinals. I stirred it around, and you might have to add a little bit of water, a few drops at a time, to get the right spreading texture here, because you're going to outline your little bird cookies with the frosting, and then you're going to fill it in. Now keep in mind when you fill it in, the texture of the frosting should be liquid enough so that if you tap it gently, it will level out and become smooth. And then you can use a toothpick to fill in the gaps. This one's a bit lumpy. My frosting was probably a little tiny bit too dry. I should have added a tiny bit more water for that particular bird. Now for decorating, the back of the cookie house has the words Seasons Tweetings on it. You can write whatever you want. You could put Merry Tweetmas. I don't know, what would you write on the back of yours? If you make any mistakes, you can fix them with a little toothpick. It does the trick quite nicely. Of course, this is sped up. I'm not that good at writing. Seasons Tweetings. Now for more decoration, we're going to make holly decos. Now you're going to take a half a cup of that royal frosting tinted green, and you want to make sure it's thick enough so that it holds shape when you pipe it. I put a leaf tip on this piping bag, and I'm just piping out little pairs of leaves, and these are going to be holly leaves. So I piped out the little pairs. I did lots of them because I wasn't sure how delicate these were going to be when it was time, and I knew I was probably going to break a couple, so I just made sure that I had a few extra. I'm piping these directly onto waxed paper so that when they're dry, they'll be easily peeled off. Then once you have, I don't know, I must have piped out a dozen pairs just to be sure. I took some of that red frosting and I made 3 little dots for the holly berries. And then I put these aside to dry until they're very dry, a couple of hours or so. Now to continue to decorate, I switched off the tip from a leaf tip to this small open star tip, and I just made some little Christmas tree shapes on the back of the birdhouse. And then to decorate, you can use whatever you want. I had these little candies, so I just placed them all over, and you press them down into the frosting so that they stick, and then let this harden. This frosting hardens very quickly. You should keep the frosting you're not using covered with some plastic wrap, otherwise it'll dry. And then I drew a little wreath using little star shapes all the way around, and then decorated with a few more candies. These are little chocolate candy coated pieces is what they are. Now for that perch, what I did was I put a little bit of white frosting in there, and then I inserted a candy cane for the perch. Now you'll see later this changes color because I use a different one because this one fell off. It was too big. I had to put a smaller one in there. And then after I inserted the perch, I realized I forgot to put the little red bow on the bottom of the wreath, so I drew it on after the fact. It still worked out okay. I'm using that red frosting once again, the same one I used for to do the cardinals. And then to decorate a little bit more, I used some plain royal frosting with a writing tip on the piping bag, and I made little snowflake shapes. Wasn't terribly thrilled with these when I made them, but once they're on, it's kind of hard to get them off. I did see some awesome little snowflake decorations at the bulk barn though. You could use whatever you want for this. And for the sides of the birdhouse, I just did more little Christmas trees and more decorations using the little candies. And now for the roof. The roof, I changed the tip to a little star tip, And I just did 3 diagonal lines in one direction and then 3 diagonal lines in the other direction. This is sped up, of course. And I did the same thing with both roof pieces. Now to finish off the little cardinals, I used some black frosting with a writing tip, and I just outlined that empty space that I left to make the little faces. And you want this black frosting to be liquid enough so that it levels itself out when it dries. And then a little bit of white frosting, a dab for the eye. Now you can see how they're kind of all different. Some of them are lumpy. One of them at the top there, which was my best one, I had thinned that red icing out a little bit more with a little bit more water, and it smoothed out a lot nicer. So you'll just have to experiment a little bit. I have very little experience with royal icing covered cookies. Now for the little bird beaks, I used a yellow gumdrop that I cut into small pieces with a pair of clean kitchen scissors. And then I just added it to the little bird. That black frosting actually is still wet, and I just kind of positioned it and pressed it down so that it would stick. And that is a completed little chubby cardinal. Okay, now for the final assembly. Unfortunately, I didn't turn the camera on for that first part, but you'll get the idea here. What you're going to do is take one end a piece. Now keep in mind, these are dry. All those decorations on there, the green wreath, all of that is very dry. I let them sit for at least 2 hours before I went on to this part. You want to make sure they're dry, otherwise it'll smudge when you touch them. I put a line of the royal frosting on both edges, and then you're going to take the side pieces and you're going to just press them together. Now, if you don't have anyone to help you with this, with an extra pair of hands, you can just use a drinking glass to help hold the sides up, and that's why there's a drinking glass in the bottom left corner of your screen there. Now, this can be a little bit fussy. You might have to, a piece might fall down, you might have to put it back up. Just take your time, go nice and slow, and eventually that royal frosting works really well to hold things together, and you'll get it nice and stabilized and in the right position. And I put some additional royal frosting on the inside corners just to reinforce it. And then I took a knife and just kind of gently spread it out just so there was good contact between the side pieces and the end pieces. You can see it moved a little there. You just have to be careful to make sure you don't knock things over. And then let this sit for about an hour or so, just to make sure you have a nice solid base before you try to attach the roof. The roof is easy. You just outline the edges with some royal frosting. And then take the roof piece and then gently place it on there and press down gently. Press and hold. Just hold it for a minute or two, and then when you let it go, it should be fine. Everything should stay up if everything goes well. And it will. If you try this, it's going to work out well. And I removed the excess frosting using a butter knife just so that it looked a little neater. Now, for the detailing, they suggested you put frosting along the edge and then you make it look like there's snow or icicles coming off the roof. This was one of the hardest things to do. Every time I put the frosting on, I would try to pull it down with a toothpick, and pieces kept falling off, and I had to put more on. But you know what? It actually ended up okay. I thinned out some of my frosting so it was a little bit runnier, the royal frosting, and it worked out quite nicely. So I did all the edges of the roof to make it look like there was snow coming off the edge with some icicles. Now for the top, I did a little line of royal frosting, and then I topped it with a candy cane with the hook end part broken off. And actually, it was the perfect length. Just break the hook off of the candy cane, it should be the right length. If it's not, you just break it a little bit more, that's all. Press it in, let it sit. And then to hide the seams of where the wall and the end pieces touch, I put a little bit of royal frosting and then added a piece of candy cane. And I did that on all the sides. And then now we need to add our Christmas lights. So as you can see, the frosting can be difficult to work with. I drew a line up the edge, and then I realized I hadn't put my holly pieces on. So I peeled the holly pieces off the wax paper. They were nice and dry. And then just pressed them into the frosting. So there's the back. Yeah, it looks a little messy. Go up the sides. And then I attached holly pieces on both corners. You could put another holly piece on the top, I think, of the roof. That would be nice as well. Now for the lights. Now these are Mike and Ike candies. That's what they use in the magazine. You could use whatever kind of candies you want to be Christmas lights. But these actually do look kind of like the really old kind of Christmas lights. Just press them into the frosting. And I kind of put them so that they weren't all exactly perfectly lined up like you would expect old-fashioned lights to be, kind of pointing little bits of different directions. And I went all the way around. I kind of alternated the colors so that they wouldn't have like two red ones together. And then finally, the actual electric cord that will join them all. So I used the black frosting, and then I went between each of the lights. And when I get to a little Christmas light, I make a little extra dab to make it look like the actual attachment for the Christmas light. Now, what's awesome about this frosting is you can see between two of the bulbs that it stays suspended. It doesn't break. This frosting is awesome. So I made a little glob, and then you'll see a little bit more in the next shot here. And I go up, and then I make a little dab, and then up, and then a little dab. And you can see how the frosting stays suspended in between. This could have been a total disaster. I'm so happy that it worked out the way it did. I wanted to do a little happy dance when I was done with my string of lights. I put this on a little cake stand or dessert stand for display, and I added more frosting on top of the cake board to number one, cement the house down nicely, and to make it look like it's in a little, like there's snow all around. And then I use this white sparkle glitter on top of the snow, and it's really pretty. It makes it all sparkly, and it looks like it's a sparkly snow. And then finally added those little cardinal cookies, one on the front and one on the back. You could add more. I thought maybe even a little cardinal on the roof would be kind of cute. I don't think you could put one on the perch because I don't think that would be solid enough. And speaking of perches, you can see that the candy cane changed to a different candy cane. I needed a smaller one to fit in that hole. The other one kept falling off. There it is, side view and the back. I was absolutely thrilled with the way this turned out. It was so much fun to make, and it's a tiny project. It's not a gigantic house. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and you can do this in about a day and a half or so with all of the waiting times in between to let things dry. And I even took a picture of it outside in front of my tree to make it look like it was in its natural environment. Thanks so much for watching. I have many great Christmas treat ideas on my playlist. Please go check it out. Bye-bye.